Season 4 of Cobra Kai had the best closing episode of the entire story due to the amount of satisfying payoffs. There's the boys match and the girls match. The boys match is Hawk vs. Robbie, and it involves setups from these two along with Danny and Kenny. Throughout the season, Danny and Johnny were butting heads over which style they should teach their students. Both wanted to be Cobra Kai, but both senseis were too attached to their own styles. Daniel prioritized defense and Johnny prioritized offense. On the teenagers' side, Cobra Kai has consistently been a dojo that corrupts its students and turns them into bullies. From season 1 to 3, Hawk was under this influence, but in season 4, he joined Miyagi-Do to redeem himself. Robbie had the opposite path. He was in Miyagi-Do for the first 2 seasons before switching to Cobra Kai and becoming a bully. He specifically bullied Hawk by shaving off his mohawk that he was so proud of, killing Hawk's confidence. He also brought a bully victim, Kenny, into Cobra Kai to help him stand up for himself, but he started becoming corrupted too. Robbie had to pull him back after wailing on Anthony, the kid who bullied him. This caused Robbie to become conflicted about his staying in the dojo. Miguel and Robbie have consistently been the best teenage fighters, with Hawk right behind them. So Miguel quitting the tournament and Hawk facing off against one of the top 2 puts him as the underdog. All of this collides in the final match. Hawk finally gets his chance to get revenge on Robbie and potentially cement himself as the underdog champion. During the fight, Hawk struggles because his opponent knows all of his Miyagi-Do moves since he was in the dojo longer. This results in Daniel having a character arc where he advises his own student to focus on offense, like Cobra Kai. Hawk mixing styles allows him to get his confidence back and even the score. During sudden death, Robbie's winning blow is interrupted when he looks at Kenny, his protege, and realizes how Cobra Kai is poisoning his character. This allows Hawk to win the fight and become the boys' champion. After the match, Robbie verbalizes his inner turmoil and defects from Cobra Kai. So from this climax, Robbie and Daniel have positive character arcs, Kenny has a negative character arc, and Hawk gets revenge and surpasses the top 2. The subversion of Miguel vs. Robbie not being the finals again due to his back injury made a way more satisfying conclusion with Hawk as the champion. For the girls' finals, the important characters are Sam, Tori, Daniel, Johnny, and Kreese. Sam and Tori have been bitter rivals since season 2. Sam had already won twice, so this is a chance for Tori to turn things around. One of Cobra Kai's core principles is no mercy. Do anything to win, even play dirty. Kreese's favorite student in this generation is Tori. Both of these will become important. On the other side, before the match, Danny asks Johnny to help him coach Sam. Danny was fixated on preserving his sensei's legacy through his karate style, but he learned that an important lesson was letting his students find their own way, even if that included Cobra Kai. Johnny kept Miguel away from Daniel because he thought that he was losing his father figure connection with Miguel. Both of them have arcs that allow them to move past their differences. In the match, Sam is initially losing, but when her coaches tell her to use her own style and intuition, she starts making a comeback, externalizing their arcs. Towards the end, Silver tells Tori to fight dirty, but she tells him she doesn't need to cheat to win. Kreese surprisingly takes her side, showing growth in both of them. Even though the paid refs had helped her before, she wins the final exchange through her own skill without cheating, making her the girls' champion and giving her an official win against Sam. In this fight, Tori, Kreese, Daniel, and Johnny had positive character arcs, and Tori finally beat her biggest rival. The final matches in season 6 are the closest to this level of quality and payoffs. It was great, but it doesn't quite measure up to season 4. Robbie vs. Axel was built up because they were both the captains of their teams, and Axel seemed invincible. Robbie even trained specifically for him. This was also his chance to finally win a tournament, but it was cut short by a cheap move from Axel that ended his career. Sam and Tori's friendship was externalized by Sam quitting her match against Tori. These two events allowed for the plot twist of Cobra Kai's revival. Johnny finally had the opportunity to properly bring back his dojo without the corruption from Kreese and Silver. His Cobra King and Cobra Queen from seasons 1 and 2 returned to steal the finals. That was a great payoff. Tori vs. Zara was kinda personal, but again, in a petty way. Zara slept with Robbie, Tori's ex, and was overall villainous towards her. In the fight, Tori loses confidence, but Robbie helps her gain it back, allowing her to win. Tori also finally becomes a champion fair and square. Miguel vs. Axel was somewhat personal because Axel liked Sam, but Sam was dating Miguel. This is kinda shallow in comparison to the other rivalries. During their match, Miguel loses confidence and his sensei has to help him gain it back. Axel has a positive arc where he stops cheating, similar to Tori in season 4. He cheated against Robbie, but when he was told to aim for Miguel's weak spot, similar to what Miguel did to Robbie in season 1, he decided to stay honorable, even though it cost him the match. The final deciding fight is Johnny vs. Wolf. Wolf makes it personal by calling Johnny a loser and bringing his daughter into his trash talk. During the match, Johnny is losing both the match and his confidence, so Danny gives him a Johnny-style pep talk to get his confidence back, allowing him to win. Johnny had frequently felt like a loser in the past due to his loss against Daniel and his life choices, but this payoff resolves all of that. He's no longer a former All-Valley champ, but a world champ. Like Miguel quitting in season 4, I think Robbie losing was a worthy sacrifice for 2 reasons. One is that it allowed for the Cobra Kai plot twist and payoff. 2 is that Robbie had already won his personal fight in part 2 against Quan. Robbie versus Axel wasn't personal, but Miguel versus Axel was, which is why it made more sense for them to fight. These are the few reasons why this season finale isn't as good as season 4's. The main one is how much setup the character arcs had. In all of the season 6 finals, the hero starts losing confidence because their opponent is much better. Then they gain confidence from someone in their corner, and this allows them to win. The character arc could be not believing in yourself to believing in yourself, but all of these arcs didn't exist before this last episode. Miguel, Tori, and Johnny never had self-esteem issues. They just appeared in the fight and were resolved in the fight. Compare that to the season 4 arcs that paid off seasons of build-up. Axel had a proper arc, so he gets a pass. Danny technically had an arc where he changed his approach of coaching for Johnny, but he already had a similar arc in season 4 where he accepted Johnny's style for both Hawk and Sam's fights. The repetition makes the iteration weaker. The other main reason is the weaker rivalries. Hawk and Robbie's first fight was in season 1, meaning they had 4 seasons of rivalry. Sam and Tori first started beefing in season 2, giving them 3 seasons of rivalry. Axel, Zara, and Wolf were all introduced in season 6, so they only had 1 season of rivalry maximum with their opponents. The last reason is that season 4 just had more arcs and payoffs. If I'm generous, season 6's finale had 5 character arcs, season 4 had 7. Overall, season 4 had more build up for its character arcs and rivalries, and had more quantity and quality with its payoffs.